mean, Coach, I'm sure you're aware that you came into this game 4-0 against those guys. Not easy to beat any team 5 times in one season. Just what did you think about just the team's effort and what it took to pull this one out?
I want to start off by just thanking God. It's such a tremendous blessing to have this opportunity and an opportunity to coach this team. That group of guys in the locker room, they're resilient. They stick together. They go out each and every night and give it everything they have. And to your point, it's hard to beat a team 5 times in a season. And just a gutsy effort on our part.
And Z left in the first half with that wrist injury. I guess what's the update with that? And what did you think about just the way he was able to kind of take over in the second half?
He's showing the world what he's about, and he's bringing it night in and night out. He had to gut through an injury tonight, and his team. He knew his teammates needed him, and he came through for us in the end.
And 9 more threes for CJ tonight. He's 4 away from tying the franchise record for a single season. Just what do you think about just the way he's been able to consistently put in these high-volume three-pointer games and spread the floor for you guys?
It's a preparation meets opportunity moment for CJ. It started in the summer for him. He stayed in New Orleans pretty much all summer, lifting, conditioning, shooting, doing everything to prepare for the season. He knew that we were going to have to rely on him heavily, and you're seeing that work ethic pay off.
Willie, I wonder with Zion, just I guess a big picture question for you. If you go back to the in-season tournament to now, what, if anything, has changed about whether it's his professionalism, his approach? I know last week Will had actually written about his mid-range, and he hit one of those tonight. When you're just realizing that wall is going to be there and you've got to develop that in your game, just how much different is he approaching the game since that midseason tournament?
He's attacking each and every moment, not just the games, but behind closed doors when people aren't looking. He's getting extra work in, getting extra lifts, doing conditioning, making sure he's staying on top of all the things that allow him to go out and be his best. And I think that play-in game, is it play-in? Which one was it? In season. I'm sorry. In season tournament game was a turning point for Z. It was just we needed to have some accountability, which he did, and that's a huge maturity step for him. And from that point, he's just stacked his days. So he comes in every day, he gets his work in, him and Coach Aaron Miles, and he stays on top of it.
Coach, you guys are 27-14 on the road, which is tied for the best mark in the league. First of all, how tough is it to win on the road in this league, and how have you been able to do that this year?
It's extremely difficult to win any game in the NBA, let alone go in someone else's building and carve out a win. I don't necessarily have the answers, I'm going to be honest with you, of how we're doing it, but we are. And we're going to take those positives and keep trying to build on them. But it's good to know that we can go on the road and be together and win games at a high level.
And Fox got off to a hot start, and then you guys put Dyson on him, and Dyson seemed to make a pretty big impact from that point on. What did you think about just the defense he played, against one of the better point guards in this league?
Both Dyson and Herb were tremendous on him. They tried to wear him down as best they can, as best they could. He's just one of those guys that he figures out a way throughout the course of the game to put up points. But I thought we made it difficult for him. We tried to make him guard on the other end. He's a heck of a player. But those two guys, 6'7", has size and strength. They both can guard, Herb and Dyson, so we just kept throwing them at him and trying to wear him down for the rest of the game, and I thought they did a solid job.
And going back to the Zion topic, you talked about just the adversity that he dealt with, in the middle of the season. Just in general, when you talk about star players and kind of having those moments, those look in the mirror moments, how much do you kind of learn from guys where they kind of have to deal with some adversity or deal with kind of the world coming down on them and still needing to come out and be, the star player, the leader of a team? How much can you kind of learn about a guy after seeing how he deals with those moments?
I think those moments, the adversity that you go through, it builds character. It builds strength. It builds an understanding that you have what it takes to get through tough times. And that's what we're seeing with Zion. I mean, life teaches us that all the time. You guys know that. But he had a basketball adversity, and we had some team adversity. And it's what I love about our group is they're resilient. They hold each other accountable. We try to be as honest as we can about what we're doing well and what we can improve on, and we go out every day and we work at it.
I feel like it's only right. I got to ask about Cody as well. Getting some minutes tonight, with Larry out. You went with JRE in the first half, went with Cody in the second half. It seemed like you leaned on him a good bit in that second half. What did you think about his performance in this one? Cody
was excellent. He's another veteran that has been there, has done it, played in the finals last season. We're so blessed to have him with our group. He's another guy that when you guys aren't watching, the cameras aren't on, he's always putting his work in. And when we call his name, he's ready to play. And that's what it takes. It takes guys being able to step up in these moments. And all of our guys have done it at some point throughout the course of the season.
One more, Coach, on Zion. I know we're giving you a lot of Z questions. I just wonder if I'm in your shoes, given what this young man has been up against from a criticism standpoint, how have you chosen to handle your voice? Because at the same time, I think you probably agree that truth-telling is important for a young player when times are not good, if that makes sense. How have you measured, the times when he just probably had too much weight on his shoulders and you were going to let him learn the hard way himself, or when you grab him and say, hey, this has got to change and that's got to change, and you tell him what you're seeing?
Number one, I believe in the power of prayer. I believe it can go places that I can't. And I'm always praying for all of our guys, our staff, everybody, including Z. And the guys know that it comes from a place of love. But we have to have a level of accountability, and that's leadership. And so my position is that we have leadership, but I'm here to support him. I'm here to serve and help him be the best that he can be and use his platform so that he can continue to impact his community, impact his family, impact his team, our organization, our city. And I told him that. All of our guys, I believe in the best in them. And when you go to work like you do and stack your days and put it all together, it's going to be scary, and we're starting to see it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Z, beating the one team 5 times in one season certainly isn't easy. What level of focus did it require from you guys tonight to kind of finish this one off?
It requires a lot of focus, especially with a team like that. They're always fighting, so until the final second goes off the clock. So for us, it was play all the way through the clock.
And Willie talked a good bit tonight about just the way you've dealt with adversity this year, the moments where, a lot of the world was crashing down on you and then responding and being at the point where you are now. Just what do you think has been the key to you being mentally, physically, everything you need to be playing at the level you are right now?
Proving myself right. Simple as that. And then with my teammates and coaches just trusting me, that means a lot.
Sorry, could you talk about, that start? You guys was up 33-11, so it just talked about the focus, but you guys were really aggressive.
Like I've been saying in the past few press conferences, every game is important for us. So, we want to have a complete game from start to finish. So, we start the game off on fire. We were getting a lot of open looks. And, they did cut the lead a few times, but, we were able to maintain and execute.
And by them, you guys cutting the lead, I think they got like a 15-0 run at one point. You guys were talking about getting those stops, right?
Yes, sir. At the end of the day, this is the NBA. Those are great NBA players on other teams. So, basketball is a game of runs. It's just, we can't get complacent. We got to, stay the course.
I also want to ask you about, C.J. McCollum. You would think that, he's an old man in this league, but he played just as young as you guys. Talk about his play tonight and his leadership and his veteran leadership.
I spoke on it before. C.J. has been a really important piece to this team all year long. I remember at the beginning of the year, I kind of went to him and was like, look, I'm not where I need to be. And, he was honest with me. He said, you do what you got to do, and he'll kind of pick up the weight for me. A teammate like that, you can't speak highly enough about him. He's a good dude on and off the court, and, he's been playing at a really high level this year. And, honestly, I'm just glad to have a dude like that around.
And my last question, I know you guys, trying to stay out the play-in situation or two. Can you talk a little bit, about that focus?
That just goes back to taking it game by game. Every game is important, and at the end of the day, we got to play the cards dealt to us.
We talked to you, the past couple of years about, some of the mental battles of coming back from injury and dealing with that kind of stuff. I guess what's the mental part of it been like for you this season, going through what you went through earlier in the year and then getting to the point where you're playing as well as you are right now?
Just stacking my days and, just really trusting the process. Like I said, I got great teammates, great coaches that all trust me, so when you got a supporting cast like that, it does a lot for your confidence.
I guess what do you kind of take the most pride in what you've been able to do up to this point to make sure you're physically where you are right now?
Definitely my defensive intensity. Watching Naji, Jose, and Herb do what they do, and Dyson, do what they do. I see that and it's like, man, I gotta up my defensive intensity as well. So that's definitely been a point of focus for me.
And just we saw you kind of grab at your wrist in the first half, go to the locker room. I guess what kind of happened on that play, and how's it feeling now?
Not gonna really speak on that. Just something happened and had to just see it through. No problem. You guys have a great night.
Thank you, Z.